All right, the time is 6:30 and a quorum being present, I call this meeting to order. There's no minutes to approve, so we can go right to agenda item A, public hearing, request for determination of applicability. Carlos Caballero, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, 41 Virginia Road, Assessors Map 58, Lot 157. Could you please come up and introduce yourself for the record?
Hi, my name is Carlos Caballero. I live on 41 Virginia Road.
And if you just want to explain what you plan on doing.
Yes, I'm trying to fix by expanding the temporary driveway that was built with the previous owners. When I bought the house, I didn't know that the driveway was on the other neighbor's side. I find out by survey the land. So the driveway that is on right now is using the right size neighbor, and it's not using at all the 20 feet is supposed to be right now. Is using like almost 8 feet. So I want to spend like it was original on the plans when they built the two houses there, the 20 feet. And the problem is that in both sides are the wetland, not just in one side. That's the problem. That's the issue that I'm here for in trying to do that, to fix up.
So let me just look at the site log. Yeah, so you have a shared driveway
Yes.
and you just want to, from 41 Virginia Road, if you're at your doorway looking out to the Virginia Road, you want to expand it.
Have this plan.
Yes.
Explain a little bit what is supposed to be the 20 feet, but right now is a temporary driveway built before, and you can see by the maps, it's built right now, but that driveway that is on right now, it was built without any land survey. And when I surveyed the land just last year or this year, I believe, it shows that it's using part of the neighbor's land. And this is supposed to use between 31 Virginia Road and 41 Virginia Road, but it's not using that right now. It's using my other side neighbor. He doesn't have nothing to do with that. So if he survey his land, he can cut at any time my driveway. And I will have like almost nowhere to go, how to get out. And it's the only way that I can, the two houses, because these two houses can get out, in and out. There's no other road. And
So
I'm
it's
first time home buyer, so I didn't know that those kind of issues that I have. They never told me about wetland and all the problems that they have. I guess they just put that on the market without putting that or explaining to the person that was helping me to buy the house. And she never explained those things to me. So now I'm trying to build.
because your house and 31 are very close, but then the other house isn't even on Virginia Street or Virginia Road.
It's a long driveway.
Yeah.
And it ends. It's in the end of Virginia Road, and that is shared drive between 41 Virginia Road and 31 Virginia Road. But right now, it's just that temporary driveway is built just on my side. It's like 8 feet something. But that 8 feet, if you go right now, you see on the maps, that 8 feet is also using the other, my other side neighbor. It's not even the 31 Virginia Road, it's the other side neighbor, because it's called for like a loop.
All right.
So just looking at the parcels on the GIS, are you doing any of the widening of the driveway on 45 in that parcel? 45 Blees, I believe, is that address? Or is all the work going to be taking place on 41 Virginia, on your
41
parcel?
Virginia Road.
Because I don't know where the work's getting, I can't see the exact plan where the new pavement's going.
It's going towards the 31 Virginia Road
Okay, it's going towards 31.
because it's the only driveway for both houses, for 31 and 41.
So you're doing work on a different parcel than you own? You're doing work on 31 Virginia?
That is a shared driveway.
I'm just looking at the GIS and I see 31 being, do you know better, Abigail? Is the work occurring on his property? I just don't want to approve something that's not on his property, I guess.
No, that driveway is a, how you call, it's a shared driveway.
Yeah.
How you call that? Is have another,
Like that's 45, that's 45.
Correct me if I'm
yeah.
wrong, you're looking to make sure that all work is happening only on property that you own, not at all on 31 Virginia Road's property?
No, that,
So it'll only be within the stakes of the survey?
yes, it only because when I surveyed the land, they marked the driveway that we both supposed to share. And it's marked and it's supposed to be 20 feet. And that's what I want to do the 20 feet, but right now it's using just like 8 feet. And
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I guess question for you, Abigail. Do you see photo 1 in that photo package you gave us? There's the green lines, and it looks like it's on 3 different parcels. That's my only question about where's the work actually occurring? And can we approve work that's not on a parcel owned by the applicant?
we are both, with the neighbor, we are both agreed to do that, to fix that problem between.
Yeah, I'm fine with the work occurring. It's more of like
Yes,
a
I
technical
don't-
question on what we can
It's
approve.
the encroaching on 45's lot.
45 Blease, it's on
Yeah.
41 and 30, depending exactly where the work's
Right, I know
occurring.
it's an overlay, but.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where the work, and I don't mind the work and what's being done. I just want to make sure that we're not approving something on someone else's parcel that.
If it
can come back.
clarifies anything for the commission from, and correct me if I'm speaking out of what's true, when I went on and observed, it appears to me that with the survey stakes present, most of his driveway is on 45 Blee's property. And he's looking to extend it so that it goes toward. If it makes the commission, if it eases any minds, I can add a condition that a signed affidavit from 31 Virginia is obtained before the work commences. Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, as long as, if the work's occurring on anyone's parcel,
Yeah,
if they're
sorry,
okay
I'm
with the
not
work.
clear on that part.
The work itself is very straightforward from our
Yeah.
jurisdiction. I just don't want to, or in my opinion, it's very straightforward.
Yeah,
From
I
our
just-
jurisdiction, I just want to make sure that it's not occurring on someone else's property and we're giving you the okay to do work
Mm-hmm.
on someone else's property.
Yes, and sorry, I'm not clear on that, but I already talked to the neighbor.
Yep. So I think that special condition covers at least my big question about this work.
Are there any other questions or comments? Because there's a few other special conditions I just want to read out if there's no more discussion.
No, I think Evan touched on it.
Yeah.
I'm showing three lots that are affected. I just want to make sure that everything.
Because when the properties were built, like, I guess they're called pork chop lots or something. There's that narrow strip allowing access to you, and you share that driveway with 31.
Correct.
And you just want to expand a
Yes.
little bit, so
So
you
you
have
put 2
a,
cars down the side by side.
No, the problem is they never mark or mark the 20 feet. Somehow they just did nothing. They didn't mark or survey the land. So I guess the previous owner just, I don't know with what permission or what, that he just built a driveway, but it's just in,
Bad closing attorney.
yeah.
so that's why I'm trying to fix that.
All right.
It's just,
All right, so I'm going to read out these conditions. Special conditions may include: the applicant shall install and maintain siltation fencing around the area of work to prevent the deposition of debris into nearby resource areas. Perimeter controls shall remain in place until all areas of erodible materials have been stabilized at the site. These controls shall act as a limit of work. No equipment can be stored, no people may enter, or work be done past that point. Then prior to any construction activity commencing, the following must be completed. ESE plans shall be discussed and approved by the conservation agent. ESCs shall be installed by the applicant or an agent of the applicant. The conservation agent shall inspect and approve of all of the installed ESCs, and all disturbed soil shall be seeded and stabilized before ESCs may be removed. I just read those, but the siltation fencing, I thought we discussed about having straw wattles instead of the fencing. Is that?
If that's what the commission prefers, I had a concern with kind of more airborne things, not when like through the paving process.
All right. Because it's so close to the wetlands that I guess the trade-off, the straw wattles are going to be less of a nuisance to the wetland, but the fencing is going to be better to protect the wetlands from anything that would come through.
Right, and I think the fencing is more, I don't know, more deliberate.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to step over it without work.
Did you want to? So I guess what's the
I'm good with that.
the fencing?
Whatever you guys want.
I'm good with the.
Yeah, I'm good
either way.
50-50, really.
And then including with the special conditions, another one that is just, you'll obtain a written letter from your neighbor approving the work before Abigail approves the work. Is that clear? Can I say that in a better way?
To confirm, it's the neighbor at 31 Virginia Road?
Yes. Yes. You'll get a letter from 31 okaying this work before it commences. All right. That's all the special conditions we have. If there's any other discussion, or if there's no other discussion, I'll open it up to the public. This is a public hearing. Anybody from the public who would like to get up and make a comment, now is the time to do so. But not seeing anybody in the public rise, could I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. And could I have a negative determination of applicability as discussed at this meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Agenda item B, public hearing, notice of intent for New England Power Company, 357 Old Boston Road, ROW. Could you please introduce yourselves for the record, and then the floor is yours.
Good evening. My name is Teresa Portante with BSC Group, here with New England Power.
Hi, Tim Sullivan with National Grid.
Hi. So we submitted a notice of intent under the bylaw for a project that involves geotechnical soil borings located behind the substation off Power Company Road along the L164 transmission line. So the purpose of the soil borings are to support the design for upcoming structure replacements along that line. So there's 2 soil borings that are going to be located within wetlands that will require temporary construction matting in order to facilitate access out to conduct the soil borings within the wetland system itself. That's pretty much the gist of the work itself.
All right, so my concern is the soil borings. National Grid comes to us all the time. It's very routine stuff. I'm not worried about the actual work. You are requesting a bylaw-only
That is correct.
application.
Yes.
I guess this is a trust but verify. We've never dealt with this. I think, Dennis, there's a possibility that you may have at some point, but since my time on the commission, I've never heard of this. So I guess I'm just looking for either something from DEP or a law, something saying that
Sure.
a bylaw only application is a thing. It's just one of those trust but verify. So I'm not sure how we go about doing that.
Sure. So I can share. We've done it in several other communities. Soil borings associated with the replacement of a structure, which in and of itself is an exempt maintenance activity. We have been advised by DEP that the soil borings are exempt as well. The matting, as we referenced in here, is covered under the 401 program through DEP. And so in several other communities that do have bylaws that don't have an explicit exemption, we have filed for the activity itself, just strictly under the bylaw, following advisement from Mass DEP that that activity is not subject to the act since it's exempt.
This is the precursor to a much bigger project.
It's a precursor to a maintenance project.
Right.
Yep, to replace the structures.
Which you won't be, that'll be a real deal. Right.
I just want to, this is a tricky line of questioning going because they're here for this project, not for a hypothetical future.
We know they're going to go out and bore a couple of holes
Yeah.
for potential
For
construction
design, they're doing it
projects.
for design.
That's
Yeah, so
been,
if you recall, I was here probably 2 months ago for a project that we're on the north side, this is south of 495, that's on the north side of 495. So similar situation, to that project. So we.
I've never seen this, and I was tilting my head trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Evan, you ever seen anything like this?
Bylaw only? No.
Yeah.
I'm sure it exists.
All right, so my understanding for it, because you're not going to go and get a DEP file number, we have to come up with a system of, a file number for our town. The going way to do that is just the date plus the next sequential number, which would be 2025-01 is.
Why don't we just name it 1? It's the first one.
It's true. We could do that. 2025 is just the date that we have, and this is the first one of 2025. Linda, have you ever heard,
No, but I think Abigail
more
spoke
national
to,
and stuff?
I think Abigail spoke to DEP and they were fine with it. And like
That was the next question. Have you
Yeah.
chatted with them? I mean, that's.
I called my circuit rider, Alicia. She said that she's absolutely heard of things like this, that it's up to the commission to decide whether or not they would accept a bylaw-only filing or they would want the applicant to go further, but that DEP's absolutely seen bylaw-only
So
filings.
again, matting is going to be temporary.
Yeah, for
This is a
borings, I
standard
don't.
best maintenance
yeah, I was gonna
practice.
say,
Yeah.
For borings, I don't have a massive
I like the
issue.
225-1.
-1, not 01, but
I
just
said dash
-1. All right. All right.
Save ink. Right.
All right. I'm just going to, there's a few.
Ask a question first.
Oh, yeah.
So you only show 2 borings occurring within the wetlands. Boring number 3 is right on the edge of what it looks like of the 100-foot buffer. Are they going to,
outside. Yep.
right outside of it. Are they going to access everything from the outside? No machinery, no equipment's going to be within the 100-foot buffer while they do
For-
any of this boring work?
Yeah, so for that location there, you can see the work area extends slightly.
Into the
So,
100 foot a little bit?
Yeah, depending upon where they actually stage the rig to do it, they could go over into
Do
the
you
buffer zone.
want to include boring number 3 in this NOI, just in case then, depending what happens? I guess it's for your benefit, I feel like, to include it.
Sure.
It's up to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you'd like to, that's fine.
It's just so close to the buffer line, so if anyone has questions, we can say it was included in this NOI.
Sure. There's no, grading to be done in the
I mean, I
work
know
area or
I know
anything
it's
like
very
that, but,
straightforward, yeah.
Yep.
All right. Before I open it up to the public, the gigantic crowd that we have, I am going to read out a few conditions. So, conditions may include, from when construction first commences until project completion, a minimum of monthly status reports shall be submitted to the conservation agent, which summarizes pertinent site information such as construction in progress and maintenance of erosion and sediment controls. The applicant shall install and maintain siltation fencing around the area of work to prevent the deposition of debris into nearby resource areas. Perimeter controls shall remain in place until all areas of erodible materials have been stabilized at the site. These controls shall act as a limit of work. No equipment can be stored, no people may enter, or work be done past that point. Prior to any construction activity commencing, the following must be completed. ESCs shall be installed by the applicant or an agent of the applicant, and the conservation agent shall inspect and approve of the installed ESCs. All disturbed soil shall be seeded and stabilized before the ESCs may be removed, and coordinate with the conservation agent prior to construction first commencing. Any issues with any of what I just read?
Just one clarifying question. So typically, the erosion controls are going to be in the buffer zone between the work and the wetlands. So in this case, we're actually going to be in the wetlands and the mat. So is the intent to put the silt fence around the matting? Is that the request?
Yes, that's what we would expect, yes.
Would the commission be amenable to just wattles? Simply because the act of installing silt fencing itself to get it trenched into the ground causes more disturbance than, in this case, wattles, because they're not doing any sort of earthwork within the buffer zone itself.
I'm comfortable with straw wattles.
Yep.
All right.
Less invasive.
Yeah.
I guess are you done reading?
Oh, yeah.
How long do you anticipate this temporary matting being put down, boring being done, and are you removing the temporary matting right after the boring's done? Or how long do you anticipate?
Less than a growing season, yeah. They're usually putting these in pretty quickly and going
So I
off
assume
to the
that
next
boring should be
boring
pretty
location.
quick, so.
Yes, exactly.
All right. If there's no more discussion from the commission, I will open it up to the public. Anybody from the public who wishes to make a comment, now is the time to do so. Not seeing anybody rise, could I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. And I am going to label this, this is now notice of intent, Tewksbury Conservation Commission, file number 305-2025-1 for New England Power Company, 357 Old Boston Road, right-of-way. Could I have a motion to approve this notice of intent as discussed at this meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And now for emergency, this is agenda item C, emergency certification for 15 French Street, Assessors Map 10, Lot 21. Abigail, could you fill us in on the details?
Absolutely. This was a conditional pass for Title V. There was, with the condition that they replaced the distribution box. The distribution box was broken.
All right. Any questions or comments about this one?
No?
I'm sorry, so you said it passed Title V, but the distribution box is broken?
It was a conditional pass, so we still got the same, like a similar failed Title V form, but it was a conditional pass as long as they replaced the distribution box.
I mean, how could they tell if the leaching field was working if the distribution box is broken?
I don't,
I think he said it was in, I read that because that was a question.
Okay.
He said it was deteriorated. So obviously it was still passing fluids.
Oh, so it's still working, it just
Correct.
needs to be fixed. Okay. Great, thank you, sorry.
No, I happened to catch that thing. I was
Yeah,
like,
no,
if it's
thanks.
not pushing fluids,
Yeah,
how are we getting there?
Yeah.
All right, if there's no further discussion, could I have a motion to ratify this emergency certification?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Agenda item D, emergency certification, 382 Foster Road, Assessors Map 57, Lot 184. Once again, Abigail, could you fill us in on the details?
Yeah, this is a failed Title V,
A regular one.
a regular one to tie into sewer.
All right.
Is there any sketch provided with this? I don't see any of the documents. There typically is.
I'm sure there was through OpenGov, but
Okay, I just want to make sure it's documented.
yeah. Oh, I issue these when I get the DPW permit that comes
All
through.
All right. Could I have a motion to ratify this emergency certification if there's no further discussion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. All right. Any old business, new business, or admin reports?
Just the community preservation.
Oh, yes, the community, so you can step down and let somebody else do it, but if you want to continue with it, if nobody else wants to do
Well,
it.
The 2 nights a year, if somebody else wants to do it, I'm cool.
I'm all set.
Yeah, I didn't think that was gonna be a hard sell. And I'll continue doing it, please.
All right, could I have somebody actually make that motion to
I'll
nominate?
make a motion to nominate Steve for the position.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Congratulations.
All right.
Anything else? I think we're done. If that's the case, could I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Next meeting is June 11th, 2025.